I mean, Kevin, it's also true the populations of the United States and the UK were massively smaller than they are now. I mean, one of the problems we have, for example, in the UK with the National Health Service is when it was created for a population of 50 million people. We're now 70 million people. And it's still the same system. It's creaking at the seams because we've had so many people come into the country, putting extra pressure on it. But specific to this concept of a wealth tax, the idea is becoming increasingly popular with the public. Roughly 70%, 75% of Brits are in favor of it. 62% of Americans say billionaires are taxed too little. And there's no doubt, you've got a moment in time here where you have the first trillionaire in Elon Musk, and yet you have millions of people who can't afford to feed their children in both our countries. So what's the solution to that?
So both of us, or all of us, all three of us on this narrative, remember the song Taxman by the Beatles in the 60s.
Yeah.
And the Beatles, like everybody else that was making money, didn't want to get taxed at 98%, so they moved to the south of France. Then France tried it in the 80s. They tried socialism. Didn't work. People left and moved to Switzerland and other countries. It's been tried everywhere. Socialism has been attempted. The redistribution of wealth has been attempted multiple times over 200 years. It failed every single time.
We're getting redistribution up these days. That's what people are complaining about. We have super inequality now.
Listen, there's always been inequality.
Which rivals the pharaohs.
Now, wait a second. There's always been inequality, but when you talk about an extreme like a trillionaire, okay, how many jobs has Elon created? How many billions in taxes has he already paid? How many new technologies did he develop without government assistance initially? How much risk did he take when SpaceX was public?
I'm all for people being rewarded for
failed in 2008. And I argue to you that everybody that tries this will get to the same place as Cuba, North Korea.
And what about China?
Russia?
Okay, this is the elephant in the room we finally have. People have been saying to me for decades, what country is trying your approach? I've had me say that I can't nominate one. Now I can nominate China. And China's been far more effective at dragging people out of poverty. And it's also whipping America's industrial ass. It's the one country which is focused upon redistribution, raising the poor up, and extending the services the vast majority of the public achieve. You might not know of you probably know of John Kenneth Galbraith. One of his most famous comments was to talk about America being characterized by private affluence and public squalor. And that really is the state of America. China's gone the opposite direction. It wants public affluence as well as private affluence. It showed the combination works. Now that is completely against the narrative you're giving.
Kevin?
No, I don't agree. I think you brought up a very good point, though. There is only one large adversary to rival the success of the U.S. economy for 250 years with all of its faults. It's still the only country on earth where people will risk their lives drowning under barbed wire in a river to get into. The American dream is the primary export of the country. I don't see a lot of people
I'm not going to
begging
call them to
live
Why
in
do I call them to
China.
get out of America these days? And when the orange man has been,
that's a cute narrative, but it's 250 years of success. There's never been an economy successful as the U.S., and it's still the number one economy. If you gave me a choice, do I want to go live in China? I have no problem with the Chinese people. The government, I have a huge problem with. They are the adversary. And what's going to come of this is right now it doesn't look like it, but I guarantee you in 20 years, the Canadian economy that has everything U.S. needs is going to merge with the U.S. economy, and for only one reason, so they can spend 5% of GDP telling the Chinese, don't mess with us. That's where we're going. It's two different thoughts about how a human lives.
Yeah,
Freedom
and I
of
think China's
speech
been far more successful than America
communism.
has for the vast majority of its population. Chinese aren't the ones who are demonstrating against immigration laws like America's doing at the moment. China doesn't have masses of homeless people on the streets of its city. I've walked through Chinese and American cities, and I tell you which ones I find more comfortable. It's the Chinese, because I don't have to step over a homeless person every 5 meters. Now, that happens in London these days. It certainly happens in San Francisco. There is more discomfort with the political system in America amongst Americans than you'll find amongst the Chinese.
Well, I can't wait to see your home in Shanghai. That sounds great.
Well, come and visit.
Shanghai is Shanghai is an amazing city.
It is,
I did a documentary in Shanghai.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an incredible place to go.
And I've been I lived in a fourth tier city for some time, only 4 million people, quite small by Chinese standards. And I spent about a month or two playing tennis with people there, going to have meals at local Chinese restaurants. There's a high quality of life at the average standard.
I agree the people are fantastic.
America has
that
extremely
government
wealthy
policy
people
world
and extremely
domination.
poor. And this,
I don't want my kids living under Chinese rule anywhere.
Your kids can stay where they are, but I think a lot of kids in China are enjoying growing in China right now. And conversations I have with ordinary Chinese people, quite a wide range of lifestyles.
Listen,
they don't
they
don't have the adversarial attitude toward the government that you have.
Look,
America seems to live in a Hollywood script,
but I have a few myself.
Rather than where it actually is.
I teach these kids at Harvard. Okay, Chinese.
No wonder they're making mistakes in warfare.
There's still some of them that get into North American institutions. They do not want to go home. They want to get an American passport, start an American business, enjoy the American dream, bring their parents over.
And that's why America's charging $100,000 for HP visas now, is it? That's really a way to encourage people to come to the country.
You want to bring up random, anecdotal stories. I'm telling you, it's a philosophical discussion we should be having. Do you want to live under Chinese rule or U.S. policies of freedom of speech and democracy?